Good morning and welcome back to our So Spiritual daily live broadcast on Instagram and on Facebook. Hello everybody, I hope you got enough sleep. I hope you're feeling good. This is a very special day today, so we are going to look into collective energies and what they are. And as always, I want you to comment and ask questions. This So Spiritual episode is also our weekly empath, something that you may not know if you've just discovered me, namely the weekly energy update that I do for empaths and energetically sensitives. And so we're going to be looking at the energies coming in for the week ahead, starting 29th of December till the 4th of January. And I know you can't see this, but I haven't slept in 48 hours. That's the wonder of makeup. I have been busy channeling the energies for 2019. There's a lot to come. Preparing for the energetic adjustment session tonight. That is a monthly energy session where I send the collective energies of the next 4 to 6 weeks through those who sign up for this session and see what their personal medicine is that is being developed internally. So even if we are unaware of this, all right, collective energies affect us at all times. Those are the unseen or ethereal or etheric energies, as some call them. And they go through our body, through our energy body at all times. And our energy can handle that. It's just really our conscious mind that has a hard time with, being able to contextualize and bringing this together. Okay, so for the most part, and this is one of the biggest issues that we have as energetically sensitives, is that we are experiencing things, especially if it's physical or things that have to do with deeper emotional processes, or even relationship issues where we think it's just us and we can't really make sense of it, how it comes in. It makes us feel alone and isolated. And the truth is, though, that most people experience it in their own way. Okay, I love those hearts. I know I say this every time, but I just can't get enough of them. Okay, so you are here, I'm here, we have almost a minute delay. Hey Sandy, I see you. Let us know what country you are from and how you are doing. Today will all be about collective energies, okay? And the way I will introduce collective energies to you will be, yes, I'm getting you a heart. Somebody is smashing that heart button there. Awesome. All right, so we're going to be talking about the collective energies next week, but for the most part, this is also an introductory lesson for you in how professional energy healers or energy workers around the world, how they work with this and what this can mean to us individuals if we tune into this a bit more. So I've already mentioned the problem that we always think we're alone with those sensations that we have, and that's a big one, okay? That makes us isolate, that makes us not wanting to, really talk about our feelings. We see everybody else sending all these great pictures on Instagram or Facebook, and we feel like we're the only ones going through something. And let me assure you, this is not the case, okay? So you are not alone with this. These collective energies affect all of us at all times. But it is only a few of us who have enough training to actually be able to contextualize what they are experiencing and how this fits in. So let me ask you guys, how are you currently feeling? Without sort of prompting you, without sending you a front load here, what are you feeling physically right now? What is sort of the predominant perception that you have, and what is going on in your personal life or at work? How do you perceive other people? Do you perceive them as like calm or really peaceful? Do you perceive them as agitated? as stressed out, as fearful maybe. How do you guys feel? Yes, and I'm waving back to you guys on Instagram. How do you feel this current collective energetic state? Yes, we have a long delay today, so I can't see anything yet. Let me take a sip of coffee then. Yes, if you're interested, I'm only drinking espresso, organic espresso. So that's the only, and water, of course, and my big water bottle. Oh, that's interesting, Denise. You're noticing that it oscillates between two states, between two extremes, between agitated and calm. Very cool. That's because you are someone who has been training this already. You can pick up on these things easily. Yes, how do you guys on Facebook feel about other people right now? So to explain this a little bit while you're thinking about what you're going to talk about or share with us here, collective energies work like weather conditions. Personally, I like this analogy the best. All right, so it's like a field, okay, and we are all standing in this field. It's like something that changes. We cannot control this. So whether it's going to snow tomorrow or whether it's going to be hot tomorrow, those are things that are not in our control. But even though we are personally the same people, it will make us having to adjust somehow. We have to wear different clothes, or we have to, maybe drive more carefully, or we have to work with those collective energies at all times. If we don't, then we tend to feel that, this is just all personal, and this is just like all against us. All right, and that's the problem here. The problem is that when we cannot see the larger picture, the larger, perspective here with other people, and they will hide how they truly feel. Okay, this is sort of the general state of our collective, that we hide how we truly feel. And unfortunately, if we would all just be totally honest about this and not feel like we have to present a false self, we talked about this the last couple of days, or be our, our peachy self. If we would all be really, really honest about this, or if we had friends or people who are sensing this, just like we do, and who can pick up on this, and we can exchange this. So here at transCODES, for instance, we emphasize that a lot, that people can exchange these sensations, so that it becomes easier for them to understand that it's not just them. Yes, and let me read some of the chat here coming forward. So, Margajata, you feeling strong first chakra sensation. So first chakra sensations, let me translate this for you. And by the way, if you want to know more about energy centers, your chakras and what they regulate and how you can work with them, how you can clear them, how you can balance them, then come from January 1st till January 7th here, same place, where I'm going to do a cooperation with basmati.com, a really cool website for healing remedies and practitioners, talking about our 7 physical chakras, and just going a little bit into this expanded view of the 14 chakra system with our external, outside of our body consciousness chakra fields. All right, so first chakra sensations are sensations that are at the root of us, and our body. Okay, so emotionally they affect how we feel that we belong, how we feel that we, are here, okay, that we are grounded in this experience. Physically, when there's stuff going on with our first chakra, when things are being triggered in our first chakra, we can feel this in our legs, we can feel this in our hips, in our reproductive organs. So if you're female and you're having your cycle right now, you'll probably feel this as a little stronger than normal. And if you are someone who has issues with digestive or digestive problems. You may have problems here in this lower abdominal region right now. Okay, so constipation is very, very common in times where there's a strong first chakra influx. And yes, it's not a quiz, but Margojata, if this was a quiz, then you would have won right now, because first chakra sensations or first chakra is indeed activated and a little challenged right now. Okay, Justin, you feel that you feel a bit that there's an optimistic sort of sense in the air. That's good. Yes, that's also a check. Sandy, you feel grounded. This also is a first chakra sensation. A bit isolated, but peaceful. Very hot here in South Africa. So my greetings to South Africa. Yes, those of you in the Southern Hemisphere have the height of the summer heat right now. I live in Florida, so it's almost the same all year round. But those of you here in the Northern Hemisphere, for the most part, are having to endure cold weather conditions. Yes, Annette, it feels heavy. And that too is a first and second chakra sensation. So it feels heavy. We feel the density of our body. Do you know what I mean with this? We feel like that we are sort of dragged down by our physical. Okay, and this doesn't necessarily always come with a physical with an emotional impulse, but if we don't know what this means, then it can often lead to us feeling like, oh shit, am I gonna get depressed or something? So it can lead to heavier emotions. So if you can catch this early enough by identifying, okay, there's something first chakra going on right now. I have to work on my grounding. I have to work on, really releasing everything into, downward, in the physical as well as energetic level. I have to let things out. I need to maybe go into nature. Nature always helps to ground really well. So nature is the, sort of the first aid remedy for the root chakra issues, because it's all plants have roots, and if we connect with plants, just by looking at them, then it can help us to ground. Okay, yeah. So you don't need to be afraid, just because you feel a little uprooted right now, or a little bit of uncertainty. You can counteract this, with your body awareness. Okay, and you can go into or seek places, do basic self-care routines that we talked about yesterday, that can allow you, to channel this out a bit. Syria, you feel you're fighting with a mild cold. Yes, I've heard this a lot right now. So those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, a lot of you guys have been dealing with this continual sort of feeling of having or getting a cold, but it not really coming out fully. Yes, the weather tells you to hibernate. No heavy fluctuations. Okay, so the fluctuations that Margojata mentioned, they are actually coming in right now as part of the collective energies here, these weather conditions for the next week, but not just that. So let me make this transition here to our weekly empath, to the energy update that I do here live this time for you as a spiritual audience, and my followers and Patreon subscribers who have been supporting me all these years that I do these energy updates. Thank you guys, by the way. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, next week is officially the first week of 2019, and I've called this energy update, I gave it a name, just to give you guys a heads up on these energies that are coming in. Wake up call. I don't want you guys to freak out, okay? But I have to say, 2019 is not going to be an easy year, okay? And it will start with a bang, okay? So January will be quite a month, and it will be It will foreshadow a lot of the rest of the year. On the positive note, it also brings in a really, really strong manifestation power. And how does it do that? You know, it's through the reawakening of our creativity, of our willpower, of our passion for things. I'm going to talk a little more about this in the January forecast. Those of you in the Sacred Self-Healing community, that's a course that we have for empaths and energetically sensitives. We'll have a free webinar tomorrow night, and you will be able to have the first version of the energy forecast for January and entire 2019 tomorrow night at, let me check, it will be at 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so if you are not sure if you know where to start, this is actually a really good idea, and actually perfect timing too, because the Sacred Self-Healing membership is for a whole entire year. It gives you access to an archive of over 200 training webinars and a community full of empaths from all around the world that discuss the deeper issues of your soul being and your inner divinity and your consciousness development. We have a special here for December that is discounted if somebody wants to pay in full, but it's not needed. You can also just do the monthly subscription, and that's just $39 a month. Anyway, so you get a lot of free workshops and webinars with me there. And this coming week here is the foreshadow of the rest of January, guys. So what will happen here is that we will feel this fluctuation that Malgorzata mentioned. We'll feel this very, very clearly. Okay, there'll be this, I call this volatility, this jumping from one extreme to the other, from exhilaration to depression. And the energy centers affected here next week will primarily be the 1st and the 3rd and the 5th. All right, and in the energy tips for the Heart Warriors, which is another program that we have, which is intense personal energy coaching throughout a certain period of time, and Patreon subscribers, I'm going to go a little deeper into explaining all this, how this will affect you in this next week. But I can already tell you that besides, you know, you feeling a lot more passion come in, so you want to really enjoy the zest of life. And if you are considering going to a party on New Year's Eve, I can only give you my blessing. This will be a really good time. Okay, enjoy. You know, party. It's okay to party. You know, don't stay away from too much alcohol and drugs, because that is something that really not only bombards but also fragments your etheric immune system. It fragments your energy and makes you susceptible to darkness, to negative experiences. So if you can stay disciplined and just really enjoy being with others, okay, you can have a really, really good time. So the January 1st is actually going to be a cool day, you know, for love, for connecting, for really feeling this. Yes. What is the task here for this next week, and why did I call this wake-up call? Because very quickly after the 1st, we'll feel something come in that is actually coming from, you know, the political, from the financial, from the worldwide arena. Okay, there'll be things here in this first week, but more so in the course of the rest of January, that will shake us a little bit, that will wake us up. And I want you guys to have a heads up here. I want you guys to stay alert, to be super, super aware, but without letting yourself get bombarded by social media or news. Okay, because what is coming in is this sort of a collective fear. You know, the uncertainty. You know, we will feel this as up and down, but most people who are not trained will feel this really as, you know, scary. All right. So in order to not get caught up in this, and this is part of understanding collective energies, because you can't really say what was there first. You know, is it our precognition that picks up on collective energies and reacts to it. And as a result of this, we're creating a field that then affects, you know, sort of a larger radius of people? Or is it, you know, that these collective energies come in, you know, and trigger something from the outside, and we just, you know, sort of at the will of whatever higher power? I can't really answer this to you. The way this looks like energetically is that it happens both ways. It's a mutual exchange. Energy is a two-way street. It always goes, you know, into both directions. It never is a one-way street. However, though, you know, the way we contextualize it and the way we work with it is primarily an inside job. That has to do with our alignment and our perception. Okay, and if you feel that things aren't going that well for you yet, that you are, you know, sort of stuck in, that things are like molasses, and that, you know, even regardless of what other people think or say, you know, then the wake-up call here is for you in regards to whether you are really following your true heart's desire. Are you really listening to your inner prompting, to your inner guidance? Most of you aren't, okay? And that can create incongruences here for you in the next year that will not support you. So I've been predicting this for years, guys, you know, that you empaths, you know, the people who have been shunned, you know, by others and laughed and ridiculed about, that you will have your big coming out this year, okay? You will not feel this ridiculing anymore. You are needed, okay? And if there is just a tiny little voice in you that says, you know, maybe I should learn how to become an energy healer or an energy coach, or maybe I should engage in this more consciously and train myself. Maybe, you know, I could integrate this into my existing career. You know, most of you, you know, will discover your superpowers this year, and it will not be like you think it is, you know, that you have to throw everything away that you've done so far. On the contrary, what you will find out as part of discovering your superpowers is that you have been following this path all along without knowing, but you haven't really discovered the true talent that you have yet. And so your transformation on a personal level will all be about bringing this together, bringing your personal talents together with, you know, say maybe your education, your degrees, or the profession that you already have. All right, and it will work well. You will feel this immediately. It will feel like the universe is conspiring to make it happen for you. But you have to be truly devoted to it. You can't do half-ass, guys. Okay, and the same applies for relationships. Not just for your career or college or whatever it is that you are engaging in. We have to learn from the past, guys. If you keep doing what you have been doing in the past, you will get the same results, and this year I can promise you worse. Okay, so don't take me as a negative Nancy here, but you're gonna have to work with this. And if you feel remorse, if you feel regrets, if you feel guilt about the past, and you need to learn what we all need to learn, you're gonna have to learn how to really face it, how to forgive yourself, how to have more compassion with yourself, and especially how to have more compassion with others. Compassion and passion, guys, go hand in hand, all right? And if they go out of hand, you know, then we can get caught into excessiveness or extremes, and this will be a big temptation here this next week, guys. You don't want to get caught into extremes. So, you know, I mentioned the alcohol, the drugs thing already. That will be your downfall. You know, foods too. Even blissfulness, okay? This isn't, you don't hear this every day, but people can really get lost in, you know, wanting to only experience bliss. And thank you for your hearts. I love it. And I'm waving back as far as I can tell. I don't even know if I can send hearts back. That'd be cool. I gotta read this up. But don't get caught in this excessiveness. Either way. beating yourself up, doubting your self-worth, feeling like you have to fight against everything, you have to be a rebel, or being a conformist, a cookie cutter, and not wanting to stick out, keeping it low. All those things will not work for you. Not next week. It won't work for you for this whole entire year. So if you want to take advantage of this massive manifestation power that is coming in here at the first days of this new year, okay, go for it. What are you waiting for, guys? You don't need to prove anything to anybody, not to your parents or your boyfriend or your spouse or your boss. You're not living your life for them. You're living your life for yourself. This is all about your journey back to your soul self, okay? So don't waste your time on fighting against others, on trying to please, or trying to keep it safe. These things will hold you back like they have in the past, all right? So don't let these behavior things, all right, this push-pull and this passive aggressiveness and all these things that you've already identified as dysfunctional, or maybe you haven't, but I'm telling you right now, those are things that need to go. And how can we get past them? Well, I'm going to talk about this in the forecast for 2019, because this is our task here for this entire year. How to learn to speak from the heart. How to communicate any kind of change of mind, change of heart, change of heart mind for that matter, okay? So we're gonna have to learn how to really work with our inner guidance, how to trust in it, how to follow it, and how to communicate this and exchange this with others. So there's a magic in exchanging things, guys, all right? And those of you here new to the So Spiritual daily episodes, okay, you hear me talking with a different voice here when I do these collective energy updates, okay? I spent the last 48 hours channeling this next week, the next month, the whole entire year. So, I'm talking sort of from the perspective of this entire year already. And those of you who really want to work with this, check out the energetic adjustment session, because that can give you really, really good heads up. We do a live webinar right afterwards where I do live readings for you and give you tips how you best, work with these challenges that come for you personally. Those of you who want to go really, really deep, and this is going to be our giveaway here today. So every week in the weekly Empaths, we have a giveaway. Those of you who want to go really, really deep and explore what it feels like to have this true inner experience of your own divinity, not just a projected kind, not just the unicorns and the waterfalls, okay? No, we're talking about practical spirituality here, guys. We're talking about how to truly enter, this inner soul field that you carry with you as an extension of, divine creation, whatever you want to call this, however you name this. There is no reason for you to feel that you are not deserving or not worth it, other than your own ego telling you that, okay? So you're going to have to work with your ego. And if you want to go and do this work for real, those of you who may be on vacation right now, you can even do this during your work hours, but I don't recommend that. It's a Grace Soul Monad Marathon. That's a 72-hour marathon energy sessions here at transCODES. So you probably don't know this, but we do energy sessions almost every 2-3 days continually. We have a monthly calendar, and people can come, they can join the energy training club and do sessions almost every day, with trained energy healers on the other end, reading your energy, reflecting this back to you. So our giveaway for week 1 is going to be 2 tickets for this intense, connecting with your soul self, Grace Soul Monad Marathon, starting tomorrow morning and going on for the next 3 days, so 28th till 30th of December. for the first 2 new members of the free Facebook Sacred Self-Healing community. So your job is to go on to Facebook, to go seek Sacred Self-Healing community and become a member. It's free, no worries, there's no hook to this. And obviously this only works for people who are not yet members. So we do giveaways every week here. So we have a few lucky ones of you who qualified for almost all of those free sessions or yearly memberships or monthly memberships. So leave the space for those who haven't really experienced this yet. Okay, so now I'm switching back to so spiritual, okay, and what collective energies are. They're basically, those weather conditions, as I call them, that affect you whether you're aware of it or not. And the more you go into inner connection and the more you go into connection with others, the easier it will be for you to contextualize what it is that you're experiencing without taking it personal, without feeling that you have to fight it, without feeling that you have to, that you're not worth it, without beating yourself up, okay? So let me ask you guys here, since we have a few more minutes, what is it, that you personally perceive sort of as the biggest impotence? Impotence is like a challenge, or like a wall that you bump against for yourself when it comes to communicating with others. What is it that you feel the hardest? What is the typical reaction or the typical problem that you experience when you talk about these spiritual things or energies with others? We have a bit of delay here today, but please feel free to join. We have roughly 5 minutes. What is the hardest thing for you in talking to others about energies, about how you feel? Yeah, so the ridiculing that I've mentioned earlier is a problem. And yes, Heather, over time, and the older empaths, like myself, these light workers or energy healers from the first couple of generations, right? We've had a lot of that. It traumatized us a bit. Many of us actually shut down our energetic sensitivity at a really early stage, and so we became very fragmented within. Confidence, yes. Expectations. Would you like to expand on expectations? Reclaim your light? Your expectations or the people's expectations? Being taken seriously. Yes, Heather, I can totally subscribe this. Everybody in my family thinks I'm a space cadet, or used to. Not anymore. And I'm just like a crazy mom or whatever. Yes, and that has created problems in the past. Not anymore. Yes, it makes us feel like other people cannot. Yeah. Okay, guys, look. Yes, you feel like other people are not understanding, and that's correct. And yes, you've already identified that it's because there's a different vibratory level that they're on. That's correct. That doesn't mean that they're dumb or that they're stupid or that they're not spiritual. It just means that they're at a different, stage of their awakening process. All right. So don't ever judge a person based on their current alignment, based on their current energetic experience. Okay. Don't ever judge someone, because you never know. Awakening happens spontaneously, guys. This can come in through, obviously, what we call true self-interventions, sudden accidents or sudden experiences or losses in life or diseases or something. It can also come through actual sudden spiritual experiences. So don't ever judge a person if they can't understand you. Really, I like, Sandy, how you contextualize it. See it as there's a compatibility issue, okay? they can't understand you yet. Yes, but this has led many of us, and I think this is your problem, Reclaim Your Light, and some of you on Facebook, is that, you know, of course we felt attacked through that, and we sort of went into this like sort of superior place with this, you know, where we're like, you know, you guys just don't understand, you know, what I'm feeling. And this is then what has led to even more problems, because then people really stop listening and they perceive you as attacking. Too many rigid minds. Well, absolutely. But a rigid mind, you know, can also be part of a spiritually awoken person. Okay, this is something we're going to experience here this year very, very clearly. How this, you know, spirituality, you know, has really not changed anything in people, other than, you know, the lingo. You know, using different vocabulary words does not make a person more spiritual. And so whenever you feel people being judgmental in whatever way, you know, then you can tell that they're still caught in their dualistic mind, in their dualistic experience, in their opinions, in their positionalities. And that is a sign of, you know, being caught in the ego. Well, yes, and of course, feeling your own limitations, you know, maybe not being able to use the lingo, right, to speak in a way. Here, I want to assure you guys that, you know, the lingo of the truly awakening person is the lingo of the heart. It is speaking from the heart that we need to learn, not speaking from a spiritually educated or metaphysical, you know, ivory tower place. Okay, that is what separates you from other people, because you're trying to elevate yourself. So it is the simplicity in our expression. It is the simplicity in connecting with our true feelings and being able to say to somebody straight into the eyes, I love you, or, you know, this is making me feel scared. This is making me feel unsafe. Okay, this is what this will bring for us. The ability to truly connect with other people. And of course, the ability to open up more. Yes, what's holding us back, I agree with you, is this vulnerability that we feel in this place. Yes, so spiritual awakening comes with a vulnerability, and that means we gotta let go of all our rigid opinions, no matter how founded or righteous we think we are, guys. When it comes to truly connecting within and truly connecting with another person, it's true self to true self. And there are no genders, there are no races, there are nothing, no opinions and beliefs on that level. So our job as, you know, empaths and already spiritually awoken people, energetically sensitive people. Okay, not all energetically sensitive people are also spiritually awoken people, but it's like you already got the tool, you already got the vehicle, okay? Maybe before you know where you're going with this. So from my perspective as an energy healer, it's just a matter of time, you know, till you discover that you just got a vehicle, you know, that is already going there. Okay. Yes. And of course, you know, we want validation. Yes, that's the big one. And that's our inner child, you know, that's all the stuff, the wounds that we've accumulated from, you know, our upbringing and our early life's experiences, our personal karma. So yes, you know, a big part of this journey is to work with this, to face it. We can't numb ourselves, guys, and sitting in our corner and mulling and pouting about how others don't understand you is not going to do it, guys. And I've said this before, and I will say this again, there's a huge community of energetically sensitive people out there that are interested in this serious journey, okay? And here at transCODES, we've built this community over 10 years, guys. So don't just, I mean, it's of course awesome when you subscribe to the YouTube channel and Facebook group and all that, okay? Because that helps me, you know, to spread this information. And I'm asking you, you know, to share the video and to like the video and all that for that reason. But in the forum, which you can access through the website, transcodes.com, that's different. This community is real people talking about real stuff, guys. And if you want to go a step further, then become a member of the Sacred Self-Healing program, because there we regularly meet online and discuss these deeper aspects, and you will see there's quite a few people who have a deep understanding, okay, perhaps even deeper than you, okay, and that will then, you know, bump your vibratory rate up. So in this mutual exchange, through connecting, we're bumping each other up, guys. And that's, you know, why communication is going to be so important for the next year. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go now. I have to record the energy tips for the Patreon subscribers and Heart Warriors. Please check out the programs that we have. You are not alone, okay? And if you don't have the money, I understand. Then come to the weekly energy updates, you know, and take advantage of the giveaways that I do. I cannot see yet who's won those 2 tickets to the Grace Soul Monarch Marathon starting tomorrow, but I will send a notification on Facebook. Keep sharing, guys. Keep liking, you know, and use this opportunity to comment here in the description. All right. Hope to see you tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to you. Bye-bye.